Pareho ang spelling ng pangalan, pero ibang-iba ang mukha. Napakadami ko pong katanungan. Is it a coincidence na may dalawang Alice Leal Guo na pinanganak on July 12, 1986 sa Tarlac? A few days ago, Mayor Alice Guo and some other individuals were charged under the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act. Ako po'y masaya na siya po ay nakasuhan. At nakasuhan sa ilalim ng isang batas na pinanganak din nitong komite, the Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality. But it seems that Alice Guo is only the tip of an iceberg. Kung tamang binahagi sa amin na intelligence information noong executive session a few weeks ago at kanina lamang din, this committee hearing is in the process of uncovering a deep and deadly web of bad actors involving international criminal syndicates, local and national politicians, and perhaps malevolent elements of a foreign state. Nakakalula ang impormasyon na aming natatanggap. Kaya sa palagay ko po, ay mahalaga na ibalangkas ng maayos. Una po, let us tackle head-on this issue of the identity ni Alice Guo. Si Alice Guo po ay nagpadala ng excuse letter sa ating komite dahil hindi daw siya makakadalo. This is truly unfortunate dahil ang dami po niyang kailangang sagutin sa atin. Itatanong ko sana sa kanya para diretsahan niya sagutin. Pero papakita ko na lang ngayon dahil sobra ako nabigla dito. As has already been reported, Alice Guo's Chinese identity appears to be Guo Haping, fully Chinese with 2 Chinese parents. Ito po'y nakita natin sa Special Investment Resident Visa o SIRV application ni Lin Wenye. Okay, naglalag yung internet natin. I'll proceed. I wrote to the NBI to request the biometrics data of both Guo Haping and Alice Guo, looking to compare their fingerprints. Atin pong nakuha ang kanilang fingerprints at sa kasalukuyan ay ito ay ina-analyze. Ngunit po, salamat sa maagap na tugon ng bagong NBI Director, Jaime Santiago, nakuha din po natin ang impormasyon na may Alice Leal Guo na nasa database ng NBI. Ito po ang Alice Guo na yon. Friends, I want you all to take a good hard look at this document. Same ang birthday sa birth certificate ni Alice Leal Guo na tumakbong mayor, July 12, 1986. Pareho ang spelling ng pangalan, pero ibang-iba ang mukha. Napakadami ko pong katanungan. Is it a coincidence na may dalawang Alice Leal Guo na pinanganak on July 12, 1986 sa Tarlac? Is it a coincidence that this NBI clearance was applied for just a few days before the date of filing of the delayed registration of birth of the other Alice Leal Guo in Tarlac City? Or is this a case of stolen identity? Has Guo Haping assumed the identity of a Filipino woman and then nearly a decade later run for public office? Sino po ang babaeng ito na may pangalang Alice Leal Guo pero hindi kamukha ni Mayor? Nasaan na po siya ngayon? Bakit kailangan ni Guo Haping nakawin ang pagkatao ni Ms. Alice Leal Guo kung mayroon na siyang validly issued investor's visa na papahintulutan siyang mamalagi dito? Which leads us to our next question. How large and what is the nature of Alice Guo's networks? May ebidensya na tayong nakita na may link ang Bamban Pogo Hub to Clarkson Valley, isang pogo na atin ang naunang na ocular na mayroong mga video room at mga models para sa love scam. Si Huang Ziyang, na incorporator ng Baofu at Pogante ng China, ay incorporator din pala ng Sun Valley Clark Hub. Ayon rin sa ebidensya, konektado ang Hongsheng Gaming Technologies, yung company na ni-raid at pinalitan lang ng Zunyuan Corporation sa Bamban, Tarlac. Konektado ang Hongsheng at ang ni-raid ng PAOK na Pogo sa Porac, Pampanga. Paano nangyari yun? Ayon na rin sa mga papeles na nakolekta sa raid, sa pamamagitan yan ni Dennis Cunanan, dating Deputy Director General ng TLRC na may criminal conviction for corruption. Okay. Mabagal lang po yung internet. Mas mabilis yata dun sa Pogo Hubs. Malalapit na kaibigan din ni Mayor ang mga ringleader ng Lucky 99 Pogo sa Porac. Ito naman po ang photo mula sa campaign niya kasama si Catherine Cassandra Leong o Cassie Lee na authorized representative in Lucky 9 sa Porac. May isa pa kaming nakitang connection na nakakabahala dahil may kinalaman sa isang napakalaking investigasyon ng Senadong ito noong nakaraang Kongreso pa. Ilalabas po natin ito sa tamang panahon. At ang huling gusto kong masagot na tinatanong na rin ng buong bayan, sino ba ang protektor ng mga pogo na ito? Gaano po kataas sa food chain ang mga protektor? DILG na po ang may sabi. Pogo money can influence the 2025 elections. Mayor Alice certainly likes having friends in high places. Hindi po basta-basta ang mga kaibigan niya. Considering that this woman is now charged with qualified human trafficking, it is imperative that her links and networks are fully investigated. I now wish to ask my colleagues if they have opening statements. May ipa-flash po kaming ulit yung SIRV ni Guo Huaping at saka yung Board of Investments letter sa Bureau of Immigration dated 4th June 2024. Familiar po ba kayo sa mga dokumentong ito at pwede nyo po bang ipaliwanag yung konteksto ng mga dokumentong ito, Yusek? The separate and co-equal status of our different branches of government. Please proceed, Comsec.
Yes, we also sent an invitation to Mr. Jonathan Mendoza, the spokesperson of Son Yuan, Ms. Nancy Jimenez Gamo. Then there's no reply from them. Then from the Lucky South 99, we invited Mr. Michael Bryce Macarenas, Ms. Stephanie Macarenas, and Mr. Rodrigo Bande and Mr. Shantang, Mr. Jing Gu, but we did not receive any reply from them. The last hearing, the Honorable Senator Win Gatchalian reminded us about the subpoena about Ms. Jamie Lynn Cruz, Mr. Roderick Paul Pujante, and Mr. Juan Miguel Alpaz. But until now, we cannot get the address because the address stated in the articles of incorporation were all non-existent. That's all, Your Honors.
Thank you, Comsec.
May I-
So in addition to the previously mentioned Alice Guo, Guo Jianzhong, Lin Wenye, Sheila Guo, and Wesley Guo, all the other invited resource persons, except for Dennis Cunanan, who is represented today by his attorney, all the other invited resource persons whose offices were closed, who gave no reply, and of course also accepting Walter Wong Long because the invitation to him is already covered by the reply of the good judge. The other invited resource persons, also whose addresses are non-existent, may at the proper time be the subject of the proper motion and ordering of the issuance of subpoena. So, COMSEC, could you please administer the oath to those present sa mga hindi pa po nakakapanumpa sa atin?
May I request those who have not taken their oath during our last hearing to please stand up, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, please state your name, do solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this investigation. Thank you. You may now take your seat.
Maraming salamat, COMSEC, at sa lahat ng mga resource persons. Before we go back to you, Sec. Rodolfo, and our questions for the Board of Investments, just to act on this matter already, the Chair orders the issuance of subpoenas to the previously mentioned invited resource persons who did not make themselves available for the hearing today.
I second the motion, Madam Chair.
So moved and duly seconded. Thank you to Sen. Sherwin. So the Chair orders such, COMSEC. Salamat po. So let's go on now with the Board of Investments. We'll flash again, Yusek Rodolfo, the SIRV of Guo Huaping and the BOI letter to the BI dated 4th June 2024. Familiar po ba kayo sa mga dokumentong ito at pwede niyo po bang ipaliwanag sa amin ano po yung konteksto ng mga dokumentong ito?
Yes, Your Honor. Honorable Chair, honorable members of the committee, we actually received 3 requests on information related to this hearing. One is from Commissioner Norman Tansinco on a letter that he sent to our DTI Secretary Alfredo Pascual and the BOI Executive Director Bobby Fondevilla. This was dated June 3, inquiring on the complete details of the special investors resident visa application of one Guo Jian Zong. And we replied, Your Honor, June 3, same date, but was received the day after by the Bureau of Immigration, informing the Bureau of Immigration that as per our records, the said foreign national and his dependents were previous holders of SIRV issued pursuant to provisions of Book 5 of Executive Order 226, otherwise known as the Omnibus Investment Code of 1987, with the following details. So the SIRVs were issued to Guo Jian Zhong, the principal, with date of birth 16 September 1958, to Shi Xiu Mei, the dependent spouse, date of birth September 9, 1961, to Guo Lingling, the dependent daughter, date of birth November 21, 1982, and to Guo Lina, dependent daughter, September 15, 1986, yung date of birth po. The SIRV status, this was cancelled in May 23, 2003. And then,
So, Yusek, yung mga pangalang binanggit nyo dun sa naunang SIRV na in-issue are different from the names we see here. So, we're presuming these are different dependents, or we can say they are not the same as appear in these documents.
yung sa pangalan po, but we have no competence. We're not the competent authority to determine whether pareho silang mga katauhan po. But may I also proceed, Madam Chair, on the official request that we received from the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, Gender and Gender Equality
Yes,
dated
please.
19th June and 20th June. So on a Lin Wenyi, Chinese national, and as I mentioned, former holder of SIRV. Following are the details of the said foreign national based on the files on record. So this refers to Lin Wenyi. Ms. Lin applied for SIRB along with her dependents Guo Hua Ping, Guo Jianglong, and Guo Xiang Dian. Their SIRV were granted 25 May 2000. She invested $75,000 in Triumph Embroidery Center Incorporated, formerly Hua Fei Embroidery Center Incorporated, a business enterprise engaged in rendering embroidery services. The said firm is considered an eligible form of investment under the SIRV rules and regulations. The existence of the said investment was confirmed via an ocular inspection conducted by the BOI on May 22, 2002. The following documents were submitted for the revalidation of their SIRB, because this is part of the SIRB process po. Valid Chinese passports, alien certificates of registration, SEC registration, and articles of incorporation of Hua Fei Embroidery Center, a certificate of inward remittance issued by the Bangko Sentral of Filipinas, that time dated September 30, 1999. Now, in line with our rules, after the validation of foreign nationals' eligibility for SIRB, their names were endorsed to the Bureau of Immigration for the grant of the visa. The Bureau of Immigration conducts its own validation process and then acts on the BOI endorsement by implementing the visas in sticker form onto the holders' passports. Their SIRV were canceled on August 22, 2011. As represented by the letter of the holder's authorized representative, they were applying for Special Resident Retirees Visa or SRRV with the Philippine Retirement Authority. This was as of September 12, 2011 po. Upon verification by BOI with PRA, the said foreign nationals are currently active holders of the SRRV. Now, we also provided, Madam Chair, copies of the following documents to the Senate in reply to the June 19 and June 20th letters. The accomplished SIRV application form, the initial report of investment by the applicant, the accomplished deed of undertaking, the certification of inward remittance issued by the Bangko Sentral Registration Department, the certification issued by Hua Fei Embroidery Center Incorporated certifying Li Wenyi as a stockholder of the firm, the articles of incorporation and bylaws of Hua Fei Embroidery Center Incorporated, the annual income tax return and balance sheet for calendar years ending December 31, 2001 of Hua Fei Embroidery Center duly received by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the affidavit on the capacity to invest of at least $75,000, the certifications issued by the Department of Health National Quarantine Office, the passport bio pages and visa stamps, and the biometrics, in particular, the right thumbprint of the said personalities. Please be informed also that the SIRV holders are required to physically report to our office upon approval of their visas to have their pictures and biometrics captured for issuance of the SIRV ID. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Yusek. So, do you confirm the authenticity of these documents related to the SIRV of Guo Huaping?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ano po yung requirements para sa SIRV application bukod sa maaring nabanggit nyo na kanina? And also, what about the dependents of an applicant? May requirements din po ba kaugnay nila?
Yung requirement, doon po sa principal applicant, nabanggit na natin yung mga documentary requirements, pero ang main requirement po is the $75,000 na investment in qualified targeted investments. Ito pong pag sinabi natin qualified investment targets, this would be in shares of stock in corporations engaged in services, manufacturing, or in a publicly listed company. Dati ho, pinapayagan natin yung pag-invest sa condominium units or in a trading enterprise. But since 2002, hindi na ho natin pinapayagan yung mga yon. Doon sa mga dependent ko, in addition to the documentary requirements that I mentioned, they have to be below 21 years old, which would explain ho, kung makikita ho natin doon sa birth date ni Guo Huaping, nung nag-apply ho sila, nung requested their SIRB to be canceled in 22 August 2011, lalagpas na ho siya sa 21 years old. Kaya siya we could surmise that that is the reason why they transferred to the Philippine Retirement Authority Special Resident Retirees Visa.
Salamat, Yusek. Oo, patatanungin din natin yung tungkol sa PRA mamaya. Pero dito pa rin sa SIRV ng BOI, required po ba ang personal appearance ng lahat ng aplikante? At may biometrics bang kinukuha ang BOI?
Opo, Madam Chair. The SIRB holders are required to physically report to the Board of Investments upon approval of their visas to have their pictures and biometrics, in particular ho, signature and fingerprint captured. Para ho to kasi sa issuance ng kanilang SIRV ID. So kailangan po silang mag-physically to report in our offices. In our office, sorry.
And speaking of, kanina binabanggit nyo nga po yung thumbprints, no? Kababanggit nyo ulit ngayon. Normal po ba na yung isang ina, i-enter niya yung thumbprint niya para sa minor child niya? So, halimbawa, in the case of one of these documents, yung minor child, mga 9 years old, so hindi na po siya baby. At may papakita po ako dito ulit. Ito po. Even to the naked eye, it looks like dun sa ano kanina, yung slide po na magkasama yung thumbprint ni Li Wenye at yung thumbprint ni Guo Haping. Mukhang magkapareho ang thumbprint nung Lin Wenye, yung ina, at yung Guo Haping na dependent daughter. So alam ko rin na yung NBI ay may biometrics ni Guo Haping, so not all is lost. Kaya lang dagdag na nakakalito. At dagdag pa, yung dalawang minor siblings nung Guo Haping dyan sa document na yan, sila naman hindi thumbprint. Okay, ito na muna. Yung magkatabing thumbprint ni Lin Wenye at ni Guo Huaping, parang magkapareho. I am not a fingerprint expert at all. So, I was just showing it again and sa inyo, Yusek, at sa lahat po nating nandirito sa hearing. So, nakakalito nga. So, pero bakit yung dalawa pang minor dependents, minor siblings ni Guo Huaping, hindi, well, I cannot ask you why, pero ninonote ko lang, sila, yung dalawa, hindi thumbprint nung ina. Ginamit nila yung sarili nilang thumb. So, bakit kaya? At bakit kaya yung special effort para kay Alice? I'm of course presuming na yung Guo Huaping ay si Alice Guo din. Any insights, Yusek?
Madam Chair, sa proseso ho namin dapat, unless infant, pero dapat ho talaga yung, pati yung dependent, i-capture yung kanyang thumbprint. So, assumption of regularity po, on the processes undertaken in 2000, yung ina, yung principal, kinapture yung kanyang thumbprint. Tapos yung si Guo Huaping, kinapture din yung kanyang thumbprint. We're not competent to assess kung one and the same yung thumbprint na nakikita ho natin. But these are the thumbprints that we have on record, including dun sa dalawa pang dependent ho.
And of course, and fair enough po, Yusek. And of course, yung presumption of regularity is dun sa government agency na tumatanggap ng ganitong mga submissions or nagko-conduct ng ganitong mga procedure. So, dapat nga yung BOI. So, tapos, yes sir. Tapos, Yusek, kanina nakita nyo rin po yung passport ni Guo Huaping. Sa estimation nyo lamang po, bilang layperson, siya nga ba si Alice Guo? If you can offer an opinion.
Madam Chair, we're not the competent authority.
All right. Fair enough, muli, Yusek. Ano pong klaseng screening ang ginagawa sa applicants para masiguro na matitinong tao sila or on the level na tao sila sa process na to na pinapayagang maging residente sa bansa natin?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sa BOI ho, once we endorse to the Bureau of Immigration, we also endorse ho to the NICA.
I apologize, Yusek. Please proceed.
Thank you. Madam Chair, pagka ho in-endorse namin sa Bureau of Immigration for the issuance of the visa, we also endorse ho to the NICA. Tapos so si Bureau of Immigration also undertakes their own assessment.
So kumbaga merong cross-referencing or validation on the part ng NICA at saka BI.
May I also, Madam Chair, just for context ho, para alam din ng lahat, ang number of active SIRV holders ho ng BOI, total ho, principal investors 1,224 at saka dependents 1,124. So ang total ho natin, and the earliest that we have on record, 1988. So cumulative na ho yan, lahat-lahat na ho. Since 1998 ay 2,348. Medyo konti lang ho. Every year ho, less than 100 yung ating na-issue na SIRB. Dahil medyo mahigpit nga po yung mga requirement natin. Thank you.
At mabuti kung mahigpit, probably in this case not mahigpit enough. And gaya ng na-observe nyo, hindi naman napakarami ang 2,000 higit. So dapat kaya nating mas siguruhin pa. So salamat po, Yusek. Before we go on, I need to just for the processes of the committee to repeat the chair's motion to subpoena Mayor Alice Leal Guo, Lin Wen Ye, Guo Jiangjong, Sheila Leal, Seaman Leal, and Wesley Leal, and the other earlier mentioned resource persons who are not present and without good reason to be absent in this hearing, to order the issuance of subpoena to those persons.
Yes, Madam Chair, I second the motion. Likewise, I reiterate also my recommendation to invite the former mayor of Bamban so that we will get to the bottom of the truth on how Alice Go came into ascension, into power. Obviously, it was really, she really ran for the position to protect the interests of the Pugo. So again, may the committee, Madam Chair, invite also former Mayor Feliciano.
So ordered earlier, Sen. JV, and reiterated by the chair, the invitation to the next hearing to former Mayor Feliciano. And thank you for seconding the order to subpoena the named resource persons. Salamat po. So I'll move on now to the NBI. Okay. We have Regional Director Jerry Abiera. Salamat, sir. Nakita nyo po kanina, finlash ko po yung NBI clearance ng isang Alice Leal Guo, birthday 12 July 1986. Pero iba po ang mukha sa mayor ng Bamban. May chance po ba na nagkaroon ng switching? Posible bang glitch sa sistema?
Baka ibang tao talaga yan, ma'am. Hindi sa sistema ang may problema.
So, baka ibang tao ito, so nagkaroon ng switch.
Pwede, ma'am. Pero hindi ko masabi kung ano ba talagang nangyari dyan.
So, pwedeng nangyari dahil sa isang switch. Ano pang paraan ang pwedeng nangyari na ganito? May isa pang Alice Leal Guo, parehong birthday, pero ibang muka.
Ano ko lang, ma'am, ang sistema ng pagkuha ng clearance, apply ka ng clearance online, tapos babayaran mo, magkakaroon ka ng schedule, pupunta ka sa office mismo para kuhanan ka ng picture at saka biometrics, yun na yung fingerprint. Ngayon, dahil siya ang nag-appear dyan, i-presume natin na siya mismo, yung nasa picture, yan yung nagpunta sa office. So kung yung Alice Go na yan, magkaiba naman kay Mayor, hindi natin alam kung yung pangalan niya ay parehas na parehas ang date. Ang mas maganda, ma-determine natin dahil yung fingerprint, magkakaiba talaga yan para ma-determine natin whether or not yung tao na yan at saka yung si Mayor ay magkaiba.
Tama po, importanteng mapaghambing yung mga fingerprints
Yes,
nila.
ma'am.
And so ang sinabi nyo rin po kanina, physically pumunta sa opisina ng NBI itong Alice Leal Guo, kasi litrato niya ay kuha sa NBI office. Pero pumunta din yung akala nating iniimbestiga nating Alice Leal Guo personally, kasi kinuha din yung photo niya dun sa opisina. Pero pareho silang nabigyan ng clearance. Parehong pangalan, parehong birthday, magkaibang mukha. Pero possibly on different occasions, pareho silang na-issuehan ng clearance.
Pero yung nakita ko lang, ma'am, yung itong sa right side ng clearance. Ewan ko, ma'am, kung si Mayor meron bang clearance na talagang yung pangalan niya at yung mukha ay dumikit dun sa clearance certificate.
Okay po. Magandang hanapin din po namin yun dahil lahat naman po tayong nagtatrabaho at pati tayong nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno ay maya't maya kailangan kumuha ng clearance. And napakahalaga yung ipaghambing yung dalawang thumbprints po nila. Pero sir, nag-aalala din po ako para sa babae na nasa clearance ninyo. Yung either kapangalan ni Alice Leal Guo o yung totoong Alice Leal Guo. Pwede po bang i-ascertain ng NBI yung kinaroroonan nitong Alice Leal Guo at kung siya ay buhay pa o patay na?
Yes, ma'am. Pagbalik ko, ma'am, susubukan namin ma'am. Pa-report ko, ma'am, na papahanap natin, ma'am.
Salamat po, RD.